if we could plant some wheat, a lot of wheat real quickly.
Would you advise a businessman to plant wheat?
There's to shift your crops and your trade patterns. Well, there's an opportunity, but I mean, if somehow peace suddenly came, they may be stuck with wheat they can't sell, but it doesn't seem like peace is about to happen to me. So I think wheat would be a good thing for some people to be planting. I mean, Uganda's been growing the amount of wheat that it plants.
What's Russia's point exactly? Why is this happening? What's each other?
I don't want to touch on their. I mean, they feel they're scared, right? Russians are scared, and but both sides are scared, and whether or not they're justified is not of. It doesn't matter what I think. I mean, they're going to do what they're going to do, and like I said, they keep on doing this historically. These countries keep on clashing. And now we're seeing that the U.S. is kind of backing out of the world, right? They left Afghanistan, they left Iraq, and doesn't look like they're going to be showing up for Ukraine, whereas Germany is arming. So I think the underlying reality that even the Yugoslavia war and underneath it, I still think it was Germany versus Russia. And so I don't, what am I going to do about this? I mean, saying one side's right or wrong, that's not going to change anything. This is like a force of nature.
What more effects does the war have on Africa?
Well, I think we need to focus on being food secure. We need to focus on food security, because I see how shocked you were to hear how dependent we are on these countries. And yet, why aren't we growing more? And I've been frustrated that we don't improve our agriculture even faster. We have been. There's a lot of great improvements happening. I don't want to take anything away from that. Our output has been growing steadily on many, many things. I think we need to make a really big leap now. And there's an opportunity to. So we could be helping fill the gap, or part of the gap, of that this war is going to cause. And for doing that, it'll come down to irrigation and fertilizer, which very few Ugandans use on their farms, because they feel like, oh, our soil's good enough, our rainfall's good enough. And it's like, well, it depends what type of yield you want to get. If you want to really produce a lot, then you'd invest more.
So when you say that usually there's that statistic that flies around, agriculture is the backbone of the country.
It's true. But we need to strengthen it. We need to industrialize it.
Backbone, but when issues like the war happens and have to affect our backbone.
Well, it's going to affect us in interesting ways. The farmers are going to be happy. They're going to make more money, right? There's going to be more demand for their crops than before. You and I as urban consumers, well, we're not going to be so happy, because the price of everything is going to get higher. So you can see, if you're a grower or a trader or processor, somewhere along those lines, people are going to make a lot more money. And those of us in the cities are going to be paying more. Now, because some of these farmers are going to be selling to traders who sell to the world market. Because our neighbor, right, Kenya, a third of their grain comes from those two countries. So Kenya's going to need our stuff more than ever. We're going to have to help feed Kenya. And that's going to make prices go up for Ugandans. So
It's good business for Uganda.
for the farmers and traders, for families struggling to make it in the city, it's going to be painful. Some of them do, yeah. There's a lot of people who didn't, just orphans, and there's a lot of people whose families lost their land. There's boda drivers who sold their land. I mean, there's a lot of people who don't have connection to land anymore. But yeah, in general, we have 70% of the country as farmers. So hopefully it helps the country as a whole. I mean, I'm praying that, and hopefully fast enough. It comes down to speed. How quickly can our output grow relative to how quickly global supplies drop? And with food, months matter.
What other benefits has Africa been benefiting from countries like Russia and Ukraine?
Well, we get our fuels from there, right? We get
Okay, let's talk about it.
yeah, I mean, petroleum and natural gas. The world market now, they're big suppliers to the world, right? Not necessarily directly to us, but to the world. I don't know our precise trade networks of who we buy our petroleum from or our diesel or gasoline, but just the world market's going to be tighter, which will cause prices in general to go up.
This is why our fuel prices are up already.
Yeah, in anticipation. They were already going up because post-COVID, factories suddenly started and the oil fields and ports hadn't been opened, and so there was just backlogs of shipping. So just the whole world's had supply chain crisis. Now we've added on removing a bunch of supply with this war and the sanctions and etc. So it's just, it could end up benefiting East Africa still, right? I saw that Total did a big deal with Tanzania for their natural gas. So maybe, Tanzania is going to do a lot better because of this crisis between Germany and Russia, right? Because Germany canceled the Nord Stream pipeline, Nord Stream 2, that was shipping natural gas from Russia to Europe, to the other side of Europe. So now they desperately need natural gas from Africa and the Middle East. So they're going to step up imports from anywhere they can, whether it's Tanzania, Nigeria, Algeria, wherever. So again, it'll be a split. Those that control the resource are going to do well, and those that just have to, use electricity or...
War is necessary and it consolidates economies.
Well, war is inevitable. It's like a season, of life, and every country goes through seasons, and it forces people to concentrate. And the military-industrial complexes everywhere have been real focal points for technology development and for infrastructure build out. So that's when you have a collective effort and collective threat, then people, put their heads together and their resources together to solve problems. It's sad that it takes such horrible threats before people can get over their, personal obsessions to try to do something bigger than themselves.